say, well, taxes are regressive, but in this case, yes, they are. That's the good thing about them, because the problem is in people that don't have a lot of money. And so higher taxes should have a bigger impact on their behavior and how they deal with themselves. So I listen to people saying, oh, we don't want to tax the poor. Well, we want the poor to live longer so that they can get an education and enjoy life. And that's why you do want to do exactly what a lot of people say you don't want to do. The question is, do you want to pander to those people, or do you want to get them to live longer? And there's just no question. If you raise taxes on full sugary drinks, for example, they will drink less, and there's just no question that full sugar drinks are one of the major contributors to obesity, and obesity is one of the major contributors to heart disease and cancer and a variety of other things. So it's like saying, I don't want to stop using coal because coal miners will go out of work. Well, will lose their jobs. We have a lot of soldiers in the United States, in the U.S. Army, but we don't want to go start a war just to give them something to do. And that's exactly what you're saying when you say, well, let's keep coal killing people because we don't want coal miners to lose their jobs. The truth of the matter is there aren't very many coal miners left anyways, and we can find other things for them to do. But the comparison is a life or a job, or taxes or life. Which do you want to do? Take your poison.
So it's regressive, it is good. There are lots of tax experts in the room and fiscal experts, and I'm very pleased that they hear you say that. And they all say the two things in life which are absolutely certain. One is death, the other one is tax. So you use one to defer the other one.
That's correct.
Okay.
That is exactly right. Well said.
Yeah.
No, you said it.
Basically, it didn't take long for Bloomberg to promise to tax the poor so we can live longer. Thank you. Thank you so much. And he's the smart Democrat. When we raise taxes on the poor, it's good because the poor will live longer because they can't afford as many things that kill them then. In some other Saturday morning update news, if you remember, a couple months ago, the FBI released some docs on the finders. We went over those extensively, and we said we'd update as more came out. And today we got an article, FBI docs suggest link between CIA and satanic child sex abuse cult. That's basically what we reported on. Now, would it surprise anyone if the CIA was in bed with a satanic child sex cult? The FBI released these documents last month that connected our own CIA to a former satanic child sex abuse cult known as the Finders. I got a video link here that's very informative, and I'm going to link it down below. You guys should check it out. It's about an hour and 15 minutes.
Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to the show. I appreciate you stopping by as usual. Hope everyone's having a great weekend. Today we're going to cover the new documents that were just released by the FBI regarding the Finders cult. And for those that are unaware of the Finders cult, what I'll do is I'll make a quick summary here. I'm going to visit just a Steemit page that has a pretty good and fairly brief write-up on the Finders cult and what they're about. But needless to say, what they're all about is pretty much child sex trafficking with connections to the Central Intelligence Agency. Seems to be an operating front for child sex trafficking, drug trafficking, mostly the children though. But you get one type of trafficking, you get the other with it, So let's go ahead and start with this.
But last month, when the FBI released over 300 pages relating to decades-old investigations into the group known as the Finders, an analysis of the eye-opening documents, which included police reports and correspondence between various agencies, reveals that the group was a satanic cult with suggests deliberate obstruction of justice by the feds and none other than the CIA, which is all more relevant in light of the recent attention to all the sexual and child abuse scandals connected with the rich and powerful people and shady history of a U.S. deep state intelligence agencies with connections to people like Jeffrey Epstein. So the story began in 1987 in Tallahassee, Florida, with the arrest of just basically 2 men traveling with 6 children between the ages of 2 and 11, who stated that they were on their way to school for brilliant children in Mexico. The men were uncooperative with police, and the children were filthy and dirty, very hungry looking, and without underwear on, had bug bites all over their bodies, and seemed unused to modern technology like plumbing. The FBI files reveal that one of the men had 2 copies of Miranda rights, one of which started with "I have nothing to hide," and the other, "I have something to hide." After picking up the men and children, law enforcement determined that they were connected with a cult called the Finders, which is known to have been led by a man named Marine Petit, who also called himself the Game Caller, and would give missions to the members that could be anything from taking an odd job to traveling internationally. The local police and the FBI carried out search warrants on both the Finders' locations, a farm and a warehouse near Washington, D.C., of all places. What was found there appears to be subject of controversy. A USCS agent reported a substantial amount of computer equipment and documents purportedly containing instructions for obtaining children, allegedly including purchasing, trading, kidnapping of children. The warehouse was also the subject of an inquiry involving classified maps of underground tunnel sewer systems in the D.C. area. At the farm, police also found evidence of a satanic cult ritual. Contemporary stories report that the photos recovered included children dismembering goats while watched by white-robed men, a child in chains, and naked children. It's very disturbing. Would it surprise you if your American government were at one time or still in bed with satanic child sex cult? I am going to be linking 2 videos down below. And it's not just the closet pedophile up the street anymore here in America. Keep in mind, child sex trafficking is an international, and it is well organized. Epstein was just the beginning of everything that we will find out about. Again, I'm Michael. This is a Patriot Hour. God bless, Godspeed to each and every one of you.
Thank you.